Kata pakalima. Mano kara fukulungu. Police station mandi kasate o sate ndem boyta abere. Hani station kili mawi. That is deliberate. Abele no moy.
Ya, assalamu alaikum badimuna namo be kontan wato nal kontan e anal badem mala Suleiman Cham na konkujan UDP political bureau YouTube channel momo be follow kan sen like ya subscribe ya share bi alhamdulillah na min shara wala mon na right party leader right honorable Usainu Darboe na party leader United Democratic Party ala kuma kendo to ana ya maroto bankoe anen party en selame Usainu Darboe na.
And taking advantage of Ibrahim's question, which touched on the economy by talking about the jealousy against the CFA, what do you think of the 2025 budget? You hear all sorts of opinion on the 2025 budget. What is Alhaji Usainu Darboe's position on the 2025 budget as leader of the biggest opposition party in the country? Some of your people would say the biggest party, generally speaking, in this country?
Well, again, I think there has been, in the allocations, I think there has been some misplaced priorities.
For instance?
Agriculture. I would rather have billions in agriculture than in the presidency, or even in my former ministry. Because I say in this the draft I saw, I said that embassies were being opened in places, I think in Germany, in Japan, and so forth. When we should really be thinking of reducing the embassies. And of course, Peter, I also think that there is something I'd never thought of, but I've seen it happen with the Swedish government. Instead of having a resident ambassador in a country, you'd have an ambassador designated for Gambia, but then in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and he or she would come on a visit maybe twice in the year, or at the most, every 3 months. You can have embassy in Germany, or say you have diplomatic, but let the ambassador be resident in the Gambia here. Then be part of the foreign service cadre, and he could go to Germany. Maybe if the president is going on a state visit to Germany, he could go there. Or there are issues that have to be discussed with the German government that is peculiar to the Gambia and Germany, and he has to be there. Then he could go there. But issues that it's really affect the whole of Europe. Our ambassador in Brussels should really be able to handle that. Even we should be able to handle that. So I don't think really.
So no need having an ambassador in Switzerland, an ambassador in France, a high commissioner in the UK.
In the UK and then Brussels. Because France, Geneva and Brussels. I think that
you're suggesting that Brussels can handle the whole of Europe.
The whole of Europe. I don't know whether the arrangement still persists. But when I was there for Switzerland, the Swiss government undertook to foot some of our expenses in terms of the office accommodation and rents.
Just some, not all of it.
No, not all of it. Not all of it. Yeah.
Okay. So apart from, if we were to
I would really.
You'll make great savings on foreign affairs.
On foreign savings, and also on the presidency, on the presidency. Yeah. also on the presidency. I mean, what? Let me say, what is the return that Gambia realizes from this huge amount of money that's given to the president's office? What returns will the Gambian realize from it? But in agriculture, it certainly will realize a lot. So, for me, it becomes lip service that you really give priority to agriculture. You really want to address the economic problems of this country. After our Gambia's roots, I mean, the root of its economy is in agriculture. So we really have to do a lot, not only to expand its productive capacity, but also to make sure that you have variety of exportable commodities. And that's what we need to do.
There's more money in this budget, the 2025 budget, for the Meet the People tour. How does that make you feel?
I did address the Gambian people on that. That for the last, the just concluded Meet the People tour have 30 million. And the expected one in 2025, 45 million. I heard people cry for boreholes, that they don't have water.
They say there will be minimum 55 boreholes sunk. In total, you're looking at 82. I had the government spokesman give me a breakdown of the number they're going to sink in 2025.
Well, haven't you have them say that we are going to do this, we are going to do that? And then when you draw their attention to their wasteful expenditure, they come and tell, but we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Let us see what happens in 2025. Look, for the past 22 years, in fact, for Jamia's time and this time,
you're talking 30 years then.
30 years. Is it pardonable for any community in the Gambia to say that we don't have water? And in fact, an elderly person said, look, some of us haven't bathed this morning because we don't have water.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that is not acceptable. Why put $45 million into this wasteful tour?
Oh, the tour is wasteful.
It's wasteful because it's all. Yeah, in fact, the state is funding the NPP campaign machinery.
Oh,
that is what they are doing.
It's more politics
It's
than
more politics.
consultation with farmers.
It's more with consulting farmers. And I have promised the Gambian people that when UDP comes in,
it's not if, it's when.
It's when the UDP comes in. I mean, we will have a tour, not only meet the farmers, but listen to the farmers, listen to the Gambians. And all these ministers that go on will not be there. Look, let us be quiet. Let us be. I mean, quite truthful. Is it necessary for all the ministers to go there? It's in every region, in fact, the most important sectors in the provinces, in all regions, you have directors. You have regional directors of agriculture. You have regional directors of agriculture in all the regions. You have regional directors of education in all the regions. You have regional directors for health in all the regions, and also the health facilities, the heads of the health facilities. Are those people not in a position, together with the president, to go on this tour and listen to the concerns of the people? And then they are the technicians, the directors are technicians, they listen to this problem. And when every night, you have a retreat, go over those problems and see how to solve them. Why don't you have what you used to have? PWDs in the regions. You have every district. You have a district engineer, civil engineer. So that, the roads They would take care of roads, road maintenance, and all those things.
So you would redesign the Meet
Absolutely,
the People, or
absolutely,
you would
absolutely.
rename it what? Meet the...
Listen to the people.
Listen to the people.
Listen to the people.
It's more effective and will cost much less.
It will cost much less. You don't have to take... Why do you have to take this high companies with you? Why do you have to take these youth leaders? What value are they adding? And what you hear, all the deliberations, Hussein Darboe this, Taliban to that, Hussein Darboe this, Taliban. I mean, is Hussein Darboe the national agenda? Is Hussein Darboe the national problem?
Well, he leads the biggest opposition party in the country.
Well, anyway,
Let me take another question for you. Why does the UDP always take the government to court but ends up losing its cases? For example, the government advisors case, Darboe and co-convicts, which was tried both locally and internationally at ECOWAS. The person who sent this, unfortunately, didn't sign off like Ibrahim Kuli did.
Well, I don't know about the Darboe and co-convicts, which was taken locally and internationally. I don't know what he meant by that.
Okay.
But you see, Peter, me as a lawyer, I believe that our constitution is a skeleton. You have to put flesh on it. See,
so let me just be clear. When you say our constitution, you're talking about the 1997
the 1997
constitution.
constitution. The 1997 constitution. You have to put flesh on it. Yeah? Now, the case of the advisors, it was an issue of public officer and person holding the public an office in the public service. For anybody, there is no distinction between these. And it certainly continued, to really disturb me. And I definitely want to have a clarification on it. See? And the approach of the court on it was that you approach this with a purposive interpretation so that you discover the mischief, and then pro bono publico, you decide. Now, pro bono publico, of course, is for the benefit of the country, for the benefit of the public. Is it in the spirit of the Constitution that a president appoints a party worker, gives him a name, and then the state pays him, and he spends all his time doing party work? The advisor on political affairs, he does not do anything. All his own party work. Is that the spirit of the Constitution? And certainly, is that the spirit that the Section 80 really wants? That you can appoint anybody and then let him do political work, party work, and the state to be responsible for it. He uses state resources, vehicles, and petrol to go and do purely party work. I mean, certainly that is not in the interest of the public. That is not pro bono publico. And of course, what was there any mischief that Section 80 wanted to rectify? There was no mischief. The whole issue is you want to keep public officers. You want to keep them out of politics. You want to ensure their political neutrality. The advisor's case, I read there that the president, under the executive powers, to help, get people appointed to promote the policies. Tell me, what policies would the better advisor on youth affairs, Luciano, what can he contribute to the policies of this country? Maybe one person, because of his qualifications. Kamara. He said
Suleiman,
he said his qualifications, So maybe he can contribute to policies of government on cybersecurity. But other than that, all these people, it's all political patronage. And the saddest thing about it is opening up an avenue for any rogue government to really stuff, the services with quote-unquote persons holding public office and yet doing purely political work. I can assure you that the UDP government will not do that. UDP government can have advisors, but will be top-notch people. Some of the people are here on your program. I think those are people whose talents, whose knowledge should be harnessed for the good of this country.
People like Larry Cisse, people like Lamin Mane.
People like Lamin Mane, and people like my landed friend, Bax. Yeah. Their knowledge.
Abdoulaye
Toure, yes, their knowledge, their expertise. And there are tons of them who can really serve in an advisory role appointed under Section 80 for the good of the country. But not people really doing purely party work. And of course, with the ambassadors, I find that even more astonishing. Anybody to say that 1996 to 2016 that APRC was ruling this country, you need to lead evidence. The Chief Justice is the leading authority, at least on evidence. He has written a book on it, and practice not rely on that. Facts that are notorious. Even my grandson knows these facts. Do you have to lead evidence about that? You have the people themselves acknowledging that, yes, following my appointments, I resigned from my party. Admitting that, yes, I entered into an alliance with ANP, with other parties and individuals. So, we know individuals who really supported Barrow in his 2021 re-election. We know individuals. But then these are parties, and what will you resign from? You can only resign from a party. So you cannot deny the existence of the party. I don't think really the judges read, especially the ambassadors. I don't think they really read their documents. In fact, during the address, I picked up the Standard newspaper where Amul Nyasi announced that Fatimata Jahumpa Cisse had resigned as Secretary the Secretary General of the party. And I was in the course of that submission, my submission on that, I wanted to make a statement, and of course one of the judges said, "But are you trying to deny what is published in this paper?" I said, "No, my lords. I just wanted to give an additional reason why he's not qualified." But you see, in the face of it all, I think this will be for the academics. Again, maybe that's not novelty, but for challenges to the constitutionality of actions, to give an order of a non-suit, I have not come across it. It's you either successful, you either succeed or you fail. But then to say that you are non-suited so that you have an opportunity to come back in constitutional litigations, this is the first time I'm seeing it. Although I do not claim to know the practice or throughout the world, the global practice throughout the world. But this is the first time I'm seeing it, and for me, it's rather strange. And certainly, I believe that look, to dismiss this action would just be too much, especially on those grounds that no evidence that that the Bojan's party is a political party, is registered a political party. To say that a leader is not an office, it's a role. Nobody resigns from a role. You stop performing roles, but you don't resign from roles. You resign from offices. And indeed, the Chief Justice agrees with the reasoning of Justice Njai in the ambassador's case, but then when it came to the office, to the advisor's case, Chief Justice accepted that Henry Gomez is a leader and holding he is holding an office. But you disagree. In the ambassador's case, that leader is just a role. That's what you agree with. But in your own lead judgment, you did say something different. And Justice Jai says that no, roles are for performing roles. As far as the Tijan, Mr. Boja, I mean, they were just leaders. They are performing roles. They are roles. But you agree that in the case of Henry Gomez, his position of leader is an office. For me, it's contradiction. I don't know how my lords, when they look at their judgments again, how they will reconcile. I mean, their positions in the two cases. You know.
Very quickly, you touched on the issue of constitution. What do you think of the proposed constitution?
Well, for me, there are two proposed constitutions. I don't know which one you mean.
No, well, legally, there's only one. The 2021 was defeated. That's not on the cards anymore. There's only the one submitted by the Barrow cabinet, or the one that is referred to as 2024 draft.
Oh no, well, okay. That one we refer to it as the Barrow draft. You know, I think that constitution is really a joke. I think it's an insult to the Gambian people. For President Barrow and his cabinet to want to give the Gambian people that type of constitution, just the thought of it is an insult. I'll just give you one instance. Our fight is against corruption. All the things that we are saying is that corruption must stop in the country. Now, you have a clause in that constitution that says that on your assumption of office, you must declare all your assets. Very good. But then, on your exit from office, you don't have to declare assets. And it is during the period that you are in office that you have the opportunity to do what people say you shouldn't do. You have been protected from that. I mean, I think that's an insult to the Gambian people, just to think of that. And I don't accept this argument that okay, let it go, and then you can work it at the committee stages and so forth.
There should be no compromise.
Bring the 2020 and work it at the committee stages. Bring that one and work it at the committee stages. Do all your negotiations on that at the committee stages. That is the constitution that the Gambian people say that what they want. So you don't go there, sit in cabinet, you know, and be thinking ways of self-perpetuation, and you expect the Gambian people to accept that. Peter, I have said it, and I'm saying it, and without apology, that we are going to vote against the 2024 Barrow draft. No, I have said it in public. I have said it to the to Goodwill ambassadors. I have said it to them. Peter, from 1996, UDP has been looking for good constitution, for electoral reforms. We have gone to jail from it. Some of our members have died from it. Some of people have been forced to go into exile for it. But it's not any constitution that we want. It is a constitution that is befitting the Gambian people. And in 2020 draft is one that is acceptable to all Gambians. So if Barrow and his people think that they want to have something, bring the 2020 constitution, whatever they want, see how they can put in that. And that would have been the most acceptable thing. But because they don't want to have a constitution, and because they also, and because Darboe is making on his promise that whatever he has, that UDP says that this is what the government should do, they will not do it. Yes. So because they are finally saying that if they bring another constitution other than the 20, they will not, we will reject it. They say, okay, let us bring it so that they can reject it. And they think that by doing so, they can make us blamable, culpable. No. We are on firmer terror.
Solid ground.
Solid ground to defend our position. And we say this without apology to anybody. I appreciate the efforts that all the stakeholders are doing. I appreciate the efforts of the National Human Rights Commission. I think what their conclusion should be, Darboe, bring the 2020 draft and let the works be done on that. Not that take the 2024 draft and let people work on that.
I'm going to end with a question from Bamba Ba. Has the UDP increased its support base since 1996? And can you give proof?
Well, we have certainly increased our support base, and this has been reflected. And Bamba, maybe if you go to Kamaraba, you will see.
Where's Kamaraba?
Kamaraba official.
Okay.
Kamaraba is online.
Okay.
If you go there, the defections that took place in this store is a testimony of our increase in membership. From Balangat Kirindir to Kiantanklar to the Fonyis. Look at them. You will see that our membership has increased. In Bonto, the number of people that have come out to pledge their support with the Democratic Party, defecting from NPP, more than 30 people. And each of those people have a little following. So you can even multiply 30 by 3, and that will give you 90. And it's been like that, all throughout the country. Yeah. So if you want proof, please visit Kamaba official and see the number of defections. In fact, there was a place in Upper River region, Nyankui, that the hometown of the City National Assembly member, about 19 people from defected to UDP. And it's an increase. And there are a lot of silent people who are silent, who have pledged their support to UDP. But they cannot come out, they are silent. So, Bamba, I think UDP, as they say, we are there. But there was an issue, and I said I was going to address it. That sure. When he said that whether I do contact the president, when he's abroad. I said in 2018, yes, 2018, just before the schools were opened, there was this issue with Teachers for a Change. I say they are, can see the narratives that they're giving.
Yes.
Now, there are conditions, and Honorable His Excellency, the Vice President, is listening. He was permanent secretary then. So
Mohammed B.S. Jallow.
So Peter, you see, whatever I say, I don't want to make Lamin Mane feel bad, but St. Augustinians, whatever they say.
Lamin, are you listening? Are you watching?
Now, they had conditions laid, and some of these conditions were fulfilled. And the other condition was to be fulfilled in October. And these teachers said they were not going to work unless the condition in October was fulfilled. I think I can't remember. I think Madam Correa was one of the senior officers, in the union, who was with them.
Yes, she was.
Yes, and
this is Emily.
Yeah, that's right.
Correa
that's
Gomez.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And we try to put sense into them that look, you cannot do this. You have to go back to school the conditions that will be fulfilled in October, come October, they are not fulfilled. You are entitled to take any course of action. But not now. It's premature. They insisted. And some of them, young people, I don't blame them, I mean, their adrenaline is high,
Yes.
so they can say anything, they can behave anything, And I consulted with the president and said, this is the situation. Yeah? But I am assured that if these people, their number is not much, if they decide not to go to work, we can fall back on the retired teachers who are available so that our kids do not suffer. They'll go to school and they will find teachers available. Honorable, His Excellency Mohammed B.S. Jallo is listening. And in fact, the question I posed to him, and he said, yes, we could have. And I consulted the president and said, please go ahead. And then I told the teachers that, look, you have to go to work. And we do not want to put in motion the procedures that the Public Service Commission of Regulations allows us to do, to ask you to give reasons why you have been absent from work. We do not want that. Please, go back to work. And I said that some of you are on scholarship. You do not want to lose your scholars because if you do not go to work, if you are no longer in the teaching service, you will lose your scholarship, and you don't want to do that. And there was a particular gentleman who was talking about this, how the hardship allowance. And I said, look, you shouldn't be talking about hardship allowance because where you come from, the provinces. You shouldn't be talking about that. I said, look, teachers left Banjul here to go and teach us in the provinces. They didn't ask for hardship allowance. Why must you be asking for hardship allowance to go to your own community to teach them? I told him not. I told him that it's Bukamadu. That was shameless. Because you want to be patriotic. You want to give back to your community. I mean, you take me to Banza Odobo. I say, look, I want you to do something for me so that I can go and serve my own community. I thought that was unpatriotic. So I consulted the president and said, look, if, whatever is to be done since this, go ahead. Yeah.
And that was how you solved the problem.
That's right. The vice president is listening to me.
Yeah.
And we thought that we should solve that. And government has to be decisive. You really don't conduct affairs of the government because you want to satisfy Peter Gomez. Yeah. No, you want to conduct affairs of government in a way that is for the benefit of the entire country.
For the common good.
For the common good. Yeah.
Honorable Alhaji Usainu Darboe, we wanted 1 hour with you. My cameramen signaling that we've done over an hour and a half.
Thank you.
And we have to bring this conversation to a conclusion. There's a lot more that we could talk about. Unfortunately, it can't all fit in one sit-down session. How would you like to conclude this conversation, especially given that we are going into the holiday season?
In fact, Peter, I wish every Gambian a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. We hope that as we approach these Christmas festivities, we'll be guided by the teachings of the Messiah, that we treat each other as neighbors, that we should be kind to each other, we should be charitable to each other, and that above all, we should put humanity above each and every one of us. And he came in Christmas time to redeem us. And of course, in a few months, time, maybe at Easter time, he would also demonstrate to the entire world that one person sacrifice for the entire globe is worth it. That's why he was crucified. So I want us all Gambians to have that spirit, that we are one nation, brothers, and that notwithstanding our political differences, we should be able really to see ourselves as Gambians, and that the Spirit of Christ, His teachings, should really guide us, and we all should be in the merry-making mood because of the advent of the Savior.
Fantastic. Raju Zain, thank you so very much.